Discover solutions to issues that affect your family and professional life with practical information to help you get past life's adversities. Take a proactive approach to power up your life with Rosalie's expert resources.
Working women in Florida make 80 cents for every $1 paid to men based on a U.S. Census report. That puts Florida 11th among all states in women's pay equity, according to the ranking of the National Partnership for Women and Families. Safety mom Allison Rhodes is an advocate for safety, wellness, and healthy living. As a working mom of 5, Allison recognizes the need for parents to be savvy supermarket shoppers and understand food facts to make smart, sensible, and safe mealtime choices. Good morning, Allison.
Good morning, Rosalie.
Allison, what are the most common food and drink misconceptions when it comes to health and safety?
Well, you know what? Every day we read something else in the news about something that's going to kill us or something that's going to harm us, and there's a lot of hype, and moms get scared. They want to make the right choices, but they don't necessarily know what they are. So, as you said, what I try to do is get the right information so that parents can make the most educated choices. And one of those things that there's a lot of misconceptions around is sweeteners. I looked at the National Cancer Institute as well as a lot of other resources, and the sweeteners that are on the market in the United States are completely healthy. They don't cause cancer, they don't cause illnesses, and in fact, for moms, they're a great weight management tool.
Doctors say limit sugar in the diets of autistic children to manage their diet and behavior. So how much is good for us?
Well, you know, it's funny you should say that because my oldest son has autism. So as a mom of a special needs child, I'm very careful about what he eats. I'm really talking about those low and no calorie sweeteners because that's where a lot of the misconceptions start. And one of the things we talk about, you're right, we want to moderate what we're eating. I think the biggest disservice we could do is making some food off limits because that's going to make our kids want it every more. There's nothing wrong with a treat every now and then. I love going home and, you know, having a pizza on a Friday night with a soda like a Diet Coke. That's fine. You want to balance it and you want to make sure that you're getting a wider range of food and you want to make sure that you're setting up those mealtime routines. That means turning off the TV, turning off the electronics. Make sure that you're enjoying your food and a family time. Make mealtime fun again. That's what it should be about.
So how do we convince parents to take a proactive approach to educate their families on the facts about fat, calories, and sugars in our diet?
It so is, and you really need to set up those good role models. My daughter is my middle child. She kind of helps me. She's so smart, and she helps me with my son who has autism because it's impulse control. He'll eat everything he sees. So yes, it starts at home, and my daughter carries that message to her friends of, you know, make those choices, but enjoy everything in moderation and be smart about what you're reading because you need to understand what it is. Go to those credible websites like the FDA and FamilyDoctor.org where you can find the right information. It's setting up those right size portions, the after school snack. Maybe it's a cookie and an apple. It's having those enjoyable family foods, but then also having the right size portion. Don't overwhelm your food. You know, everything we see is supersized. That's not the way to go. Eat a little, see how you feel, and then come back for more.
So how do we manage treats to make all family members happy?
Ah, that's the trick. And you know, having 5 kids at home at any given time, I've got this one that wants this one that wants that one. It's offering the good foods that you want to have there, having 1 or 2 family favorites that they all enjoy, and it's also being the mom and setting the rules and leading by example. Like I said, I enjoy my favorite things, but I don't overindulge. That's the trick.
All right, safety mom, any more tips?
Be educated, be moderating what you're doing, and enjoy your food. Enjoy all of it. It's about fun.
According to the University of Florida, sugar in Florida creates 10,000 jobs, totaling about $1.51 billion a year in state revenue. More when we return.
Welcome to Fogel's.
beautiful, isn't it?
You expect options everywhere else. Why not with your medical treatment? Talk with your doctor to explore all your options and find what's right for you. Visit ahrq.gov.
Now, come on. Come on. All right. I know. 2 seconds. Hang on. Just stand still. Stand still, love. 1 second. I know. Just I know. Okay, go, go, go. No. Boys, hang on, boys.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Some people struggle with their mortgage payments. They become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Managing snacks also has a little for the sweet tooth in all of us. Did you know Florida produces 650,000 to 700,000 tons of cane sugar a year, providing nearly 8% of the nation's sugar production? And sugar creates jobs in the candy industry, such as research and development scientists that improve new and existing confectionery products, or industrial engineers who plan and monitor workplace design and analysis to make production as efficient as possible, electrical engineers who design new products, write performance requirements, test equipment, and solve operating problems of engineering projects, and of course, line workers who form candy by hand or operate one of the several machines that make the candy, and innovation technologists who develop new concepts for confectionery products, research markets, and production trends that taste flavors and formulations. Joining us this morning from the annual Sweets and Snacks Expo is Susan Smith of the National Confectionaries Association. Wow, Susan, there's a lot of candy at this expo.
It is lots of fun. It's a wonderful taste of happiness that we all have for a couple of days here. It is 3 acres, over 3 acres of candy and snacks at the National Confectionaries Association Sweets and Snacks Expo. Thousands of new snacks and sweets to see and taste.
But more importantly, sugar creates lots of jobs. According to the University of Florida, sugar in Florida creates about 10,000 jobs, totaling about $1.51 billion in revenue. So what kind of revenue is generated from the confectionery manufacturers, and how about jobs?
Yeah, jobs in the confectionery industry, we have about 70,000 jobs nationwide in the confectionery industry, and that probably triples when you talk about people who distribute the candy products and other things like that. And it's about a $32 billion revenue category in the United States.
So when you grab that piece of candy for a snack, remember, you're putting a lot of people to work here in Florida, thousands. So you can make your decision if the candy is good for you or better for them. Florida women are working in the public and all love to look great for themselves and their loved ones. Women look younger and happier if they age with grace. American celebrity fashion designer Lela Rose believes every woman contributes in her own special way, and she and others are in search of women just like you, who put their best face forward every day at work and at home and in their community. Lela, as a fashion designer, tell us about your unique philosophy on fashion that's based on why our appearance reflects the inner and outer beauty.
When you do look and feel good, that's when you project the most positive image and you create a positive atmosphere. And that's what we're doing with this Women Just Like You campaign.
Can you explain the evolution of fashion, beauty, and women in society as it's evolved in the past decade?
Well, I think, women have always had a lot of pressure to, look their best. And I think that, you know, that's something I try to do with the fashion that I create, is I try to make pieces that really women feel great in and feel like they look their best in.
Lela, why are you so passionate about creating awareness of the value of women's accomplishments that should be celebrated for her success every day?
You know, it doesn't have to be working women and what they're succeeding in a corporate world, but really everyday women and how they're creating a great atmosphere around them. Success definitely means the happiness that you create, and by being a happy person and feeling and looking great, I think that that's what you project, and that's what we're looking for. Is, you know, it's not about money and it's not success in that way, it's really creating a positive atmosphere.
Tell us about the paradigm shift that has touched millions of women in America and how this shift affects women's self-esteem.
For me, I'm getting Botox treatments. It's a way that I can easily know that I look fine, I feel good about it, and I can walk into that room and not be having to fidget and think, oh, did I do my makeup just right? You know, exactly how do I look? And I do think that I project a more positive atmosphere through that.
Thanks, Lela.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
You've been there for us. Let us be there for you. The hurricanes have affected everyone. If you are a rescue worker who needs someone to talk to, trained and caring help is waiting. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is take care of yourself.
A new study revealed women spend an average of 17 hours a week doing housework, compared to just under 6 hours a week for men. Keeping our living space looking fresh and reflecting our Florida lifestyle makes everyone in the family feel great. Home designer Elaine Griffin joins us with some summer tips on how to add that new look to our outdoor space, or simply refresh our home and our space to add a little design that suits our personality. Elaine, this is a perfect time in Florida to turn our attention to the outdoors.
Rosalie, you're right. Because, you know, this year, it's not just about the outdoor living room. We've seen that concept around for a while now. It's the ultra outdoor living room. It really is bringing the indoors out and paying a lot of attention to detail. Whether you have, you know, 1 square inch of land or whether you have hundreds of acres. It's about really decorating with style.
Many people are hesitant to start a project because of the cost. So what are some lower cost options that can make a big difference?
Here's the secret. In design, you can either spend money or you can spend time. So this year, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, and who does, we're still in a recession, spend more time really strategizing how you want your outdoors to work for you and what you want to do there. So plan for zones. Plan a zone to visit and sit. Plan a zone to dine. If you have kids, plan a specific zone for them to play, and then head to the store and figure out, you know, what you want to do first, and do it little by little.
What are some simple projects that we overlook but can make a big difference?
Here's the story. People rarely consider what's happening inside when they're going outside, and the two really are a continuation of your living space. So you want to take the style that you have inside. If you're a traditionalist inside, you want to continue that outside and just add a little outside spin to it. Same thing if you're modern inside. You don't want to not be modern outside. The two really do marry. The other thing that you need to take into consideration is the style of your house. If you have a modern house, you want that to be reflected in your outdoor statement as well. And then what's going on with your landscape, particularly in such a lush area like coastal Georgia and Florida. You have a lot of color in the landscape, flowers, and you want that to be reflected in the color scheme too, as well as the colors that are going on inside of your house.
So what are some common mistakes people make when they take on a DIY project, and how can they avoid them?
You know, it's all about thinking what you want to do and then analyzing your needs. For example, a big mistake that people make is not taking into consideration lighting. You really do need to have brilliantly lit outdoor spaces, but not harshly. The overhead lights that are on houses are, as a rule, too light. So you want to use amazing outdoor chandeliers, super hot for this season. You drop a little votive candle into the top. This one I found for $50, gorgeous. And also indoor-outdoor lamps, because just like lamplight is preferable inside, it's preferable outside. You don't want to be sitting around the campfire having wonderful cocktails with a super harsh light. It's all about lightscaping this season.
Thanks, Elaine. According to the American Society for Reproductive Medicine, women over 35 years old trying to conceive for 6 months or women under 35 trying to conceive for over a year should seek expert evaluation. Joining us this morning is Kim Griffin, who never expected to have trouble getting pregnant, and Dr. Rashina Raj, internist and women's health expert. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to be a part of this campaign with Merck and Resolve, the National Infertility Association. The campaign is called It's Just a Conversation, and our goal is to really show women that they're not alone and there are resources available to them. And in fact, infertility is so common that it affects 1 in 8 couples.
Kim, when did you realize you had infertility problems?
Well, like the current medical guidelines suggest, if you're under the age of 35 and trying for 1 year unsuccessfully, or over the age of 35 trying for 6 months unsuccessfully, then it's time to see the specialist. I'm in my mid-20s, and when my husband and I were trying for a year and realized that it just wasn't happening for us, of course we were devastated and never thought that that would be our situation. But we decided it was time to speak to the fertility specialist, and it really turned out to open so many doors for us in terms of treatment and building our family, and ultimately we were successful, and we do have 1-year-old twins at home.
Women struggle with infertility for years and never knew there was resources available.
You're absolutely right. It's very common. As Kim said, 1 in 8 couples are affected by it. That's over 7 million Americans. And in the recent decades, we have seen a great improvement in the different kinds of treatments that are available to women. But unfortunately, many times women or couples don't really avail themselves of those resources because it's something that they don't want to talk about. They might feel shame or embarrassment or fear about what's going to happen when they do see the specialist, or they're in denial. As Kim said, it can be very devastating to a couple to go through infertility, and they really have a hard time taking that first step to call the specialist. And that's why we have this website, fertilityguide.com, to really provide support, to let couples know that they're not alone, to help them locate a specialist in their area if that's what they need to do, and to give them some questions that they can take with them to the doctor to make sure that they get the most out of that visit.
Many couples feel they're on an emotional infertility roller coaster.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I'm a volunteer for Resolve, the National Infertility Association. I run a support group in my area, and that's really what's so important to convey, is that there are resources available to you. Like I said, I have people that come into my support group, and you know, it's just great to know that there are other people there that are experiencing the same thing you are, and you can sit and speak with them about it and, you know, sort of trade war stories, so to speak. But really, it's a great resource to have, and we really educate and empower women to do that. And we also want to just make sure that they are an advocate for their own health and that they are speaking with a fertility specialist. And really, your specialist has the same goal you do, to help you achieve a family. So you can definitely be an advocate for your health and contribute to that protocol that the doctor has designed.
Dr. Raj, do you take on a mental health approach to help couples who may be blaming each other?
Well, you know, you've really raised an interesting point, which is the toll it can take emotionally on the couple as individuals and also as a couple. You know, Merck actually conducted a survey of couples going through infertility issues, and a large number of them said that it really negatively impacted their relationship as a couple. So there's so many things going on, and you really need to treat the whole picture. And I think part of what we do on the website is offer resources for that, and many fertility specialists also in their offices have resources to help with the emotional, social aspect of this issue.
Are there support groups right here in Florida?
Well, absolutely. They can visit fertilityguide.com for information on where to find a fertility specialist and questions to bring along with them to their first appointment. And in terms of finding support groups, they can also log on to resolve.org if they wanted to find a support group in their area.
Dr. Raj and Kim, thank you for joining us this morning and addressing infertility.
Thank
you.
you.
Even when a woman loves her OBGYN doctor, she may be too embarrassed to ask questions. So it's not surprising to find an eye-opening 1 in 5 women suffer from heavy cycles, but go years without getting the help they need. Joining us this morning is Vicki Iovine, the author of Girlfriends Breaking Barriers Around Important Women's Health Issues. She's here to share her experiences to help change the cycle by opening up one-on-one conversations to find solutions to common health issues. Why do women find it difficult to discuss our female health issues with a medical expert?
You know, when I wrote my first book, The Girlfriend's Guide to Pregnancy, I realized that I had so many questions that I only asked my girlfriends. I never asked my doctor because I was humiliated to ask my doctor. I didn't want to be told that I was doing something wrong or that there was something wrong with me, so I was terrified half the time, humiliated the rest of the time. And so, you know, when those funny little things came along, I just pushed them under the rug. And true to form, when after I had 4 kids in 6 years and was in my mid-40s, my cycles changed, and I was becoming a prisoner because of it. I would miss 2-3 days of work because I couldn't leave my house. I couldn't be far from my bathroom. And it really weakened me. It made me feel, you know, sort of ill and sickened. And I wasn't there for my children like I wanted to be. Talk about intimacy with my husband, forget about it. I felt like Typhoid Mary. And I just carried on this way, thinking this must be how everybody else is living. Never wanting to talk about it because it's sort of, you know, an icky subject. But I finally called my doctor and I said, you know, am I dying here? Am I gonna hemorrhage or something? And he said, come in, did an exam, and he offered me a procedure by NovaSure called endometrial ablation. That may not be what is right for everybody, but it was in my case and it changed my life. So what I really like to do is tell women, a lot of stories like mine have been written and posted and have been videotaped on changethecycle.com. It's a great website. It's so girlfriend to girlfriend, no judgment. Everybody just says, this was what my life was like before, and this is what it's like now. So women can go on it and really relate. I think everyone's going to find somebody with their story on the site.
Why is it important for women to have a resource like changethecycle.com where they can talk girlfriend to girlfriend?
Well, the first thing that you have to know is it's normal. It happens to 1 in 5 women. That's 20% of us of childbearing age. So it's not like you've got some rare exotic situation. It's just one that's a little bit embarrassing perhaps to talk about. So own it. You're 1 in 5. Get in a group of 20 and you've got friends.
Tell us more about the new website.
I think that what I've always written about is learn from your girlfriends, relate first, feel comfortable, then go to your doctor. So as I say, go on changethecycle.com. You can even make friends there. The women on that site will give you their email address, and you can carry on an email relationship with them. Some of them will even take your telephone calls. So this is a great time to meet a friend when you need one. We women feel we're odd or different so easily we get shamed, and it really ticks me off, and that's why I started writing in the first place about pregnancy, because everything I was told was that it was medical, but my questions were emotional, and why do I have a hair growing here when they're all supposed to be growing there, and why is my skin so red, and why do I feel so sexual, and you know, I wouldn't ask my doctor any of those things. Those are my girlfriend stories. And then after I discussed it with my girlfriends and would get a little reassurance, then I was on the phone making an appointment to talk to my doctor.
Thanks, Vicki, for sharing your own personal experiences so women can go to their doctor and open their conversation.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Women take on many roles in society. We advocate for safety, wellness, and healthy living, making sure we address our own health issues so that we can be stronger to care for our family. So we can work, shop, cook, and clean our homes and add our own personality to our family's lifestyle. So go tell your mother, your father, or children you appreciate what they do every day to keep our family enjoying our Florida lifestyle. Tell us what resources you'd like to know more about. Drop us an email at rosalie@rosaliearchershow.com or visit us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. See you next week. Will the solutions to this show's issues help you or a loved one? Find shows like this and others on our website at rosaliearchershow.com.